back to Peralta Matters. We are continuing our show on student services, and I am honored to welcome in Francine West from the College of Alameda. How are you, Francine?
I'm fine.
Great,
Thank you.
great. Let's dig right into it. We're talking about student services, and we know that you are not only a counselor at COA, but you are also involved and entrenched in the EOPS program.
Right.
One, explain what EOPS means, and also explain your role in that.
EOPS is a program for financially and economically disadvantaged students.
Mm-hmm.
You could be first generation English speaking or non-English speaking.
Right.
First generation college. Your
Okay.
parents didn't go to college
Right.
or didn't graduate, I should say. We have a target population of people who are underrepresented in the colleges. So if you're financially or economically disadvantaged, we want to see you.
Right on. EOPS standing for Extended Opportunity Programs and Services.
Yes.
Is it a factor for the students to really have an EOPS involved in their collegiate career, no matter what level of the game, so to speak, that they're in?
Besides disabled students, we are probably the one program in student services that wraps the student totally and keeps on track, to try and keep them on track to make sure they graduate in a timely manner.
Right, right. We talked off camera. They provide book vouchers and a myriad of other services.
Right.
But due to the unfortunate financial cuts we have, what has been the biggest effect for an EOPS at COA?
The biggest effect that the budget has had, we've had to cut our services in half. We don't serve as many students. We used to serve approximately 600 students. I think today we're around 275. Our book vouchers have gone from maybe 300 to 200. Okay. We used to pay for books for summer school. We can no longer pay for books for summer school. So the budget has a big impact, and we try to continue to provide what services we can to continue to make the student a success.
As a counselor and heavily involved in the EOPS program, does your student advocacy come from what you're seeing on a so to speak day-to-day basis, or does it come from the plights that these students are having as they try to matriculate through the college experience?
My biggest thing is I'm a retired parole agent, and so I come with the thing to help them succeed. Any way I can help them succeed, whether it's to go to a teacher and advocate for them, or to call them up and say you missed your appointments, or whatever the student needs, we try and help them.
Right. You're not only the counselor at College of Alameda, but you're also a PFT, and PFT stands for
Peralta Federation of Teachers.
Federation of Teachers. As a member of that Peralta Federation of Teachers and a counselor, you're able to not only assess what your colleagues are doing, what you're doing as a counselor, but also see the effects of some of the decisions made on these students and how, in some way, fashion, or form, you have to buffer the frustrations, the not understanding.
Right.
Explain to me how that works for you.
It's not uncommon for students to contact me and say that they're having a problem with this or having a problem with that. And it's not uncommon for me to go to a teacher and say, let's talk about this student, what's going on. Some students who need services seem to think they can lay down and absorb the book through the pillow. And some students who are reentry students just don't think that they can do it.
Right.
And then after maybe 2 semesters, they realize they can really, really do it.
Right.
And then we have some students who complain about the teachers not giving them notes, or they're not there for lectures or whatever. But we have to tell them that the teacher is the person who's going to teach the class, and you need to get what you can get from them.
Right.
And however we can help you get what you need, we do.
Right. One of the biggest student services, as I'm so learning every day, is financial aid.
Oh, yes.
And of course, due to the cuts in the budget, the conundrum that the financial aid has to go through, and the cut in their ability to do what they're able to do. Talk about the counseling cut that you've seen happen in the Peralta colleges.
Years ago, financial aid had their own counselors. Now with the budget cuts, like I do an orientation, and I told the students yesterday that starting January 1st through March 2nd, they need to apply for their FAFSA again. We are losing our financial aid supervisor at College of Alameda, and she used to do the work for them.
Wow.
She'd submit their paperwork starting in January. So it's important as the counselor to make sure that the student takes advantage of all the services they can take advantage of. And financial aid is a big one.
In the orientation, what are some of the common themes you get from students in terms of student services provided by any of the colleges? The fact that they really need to pay attention to when midterms are, when finals are, and yesterday I asked when school starts in January, and some students didn't even realize when school started. Under the new passport system, it's real important that they get in. We have an opportunity in EOPS to enroll before the rest of the students, except for disabled students and veterans. So it's really important that students get in and register early, because if they decide to cut classes, the classes with the lowest number of students enrolled are the classes that will be cut. Right.
So I advocate that this year we were able to register November 1st. I advocated that all my students stay up till midnight and get in their classes that they want to get into immediately.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. We talked a little bit about how all these student services are connected and doing their own thing, but in so many facets, especially from your end, you're still working for the collective. You're still somewhat sharing notes and sharing opportunities. Can you talk about that?
From CalWorks to the Child Care Center. The Child Care Center in Alameda was going to be shut down last semester, and the students really got active and took part in getting it up and making sure it stayed up. But even CalWorks, you need to bring your paperwork. And so in order to make sure that the student is able to come to college and stay in college, we have to sort of dog them into doing what they're supposed to do.
Right, right. It is such a pleasure to talk to someone who works, again, with students and how they get through their educational life. What would be the biggest advocacy or the biggest thing you could say to students coming into this uneasy and unsure situation of college?
I would say if you come, do the work, buy a book. A lot of students won't buy even a book. Buy the book. You can buy a book online. You can go to the bookstore and borrow a book. You can do whatever, but open the book and read it, because once you get in there, there's no limit to how high you can go, to the 4-year, to the PhD program, or to be a doctor or a dentist.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We want to thank Francine West for coming on. Again, she is a counselor at the College of Alameda and also heavily involved with the extended opportunity programs and services. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Peralta TV, programs that matter. Peralta TV.